How's it going, everybody? Joys of Sorrow. Welcome to the Joys of Sorrow channel. Sorry I haven't been making any content in a while. Things have been a little hectic, been a little busy here and there. Also been a little broke. Aside from some of my more expensive hobbies, work's been a little slow last 2 months. And also, if you guys know, I just recently got my car fixed. I've dealt with almost more than a month and a half of not having a moving vehicle, and that was a real pain in the ass, and you know, that chewed me up financially as well. But I'm not here to talk about my bullshit. I'm here to do another unboxing, technically unboxing. We'll be honest with you guys, when I first bought one of these, if you guys don't know, not too long ago, Petsmart had a sale for a lot of their aquariums and aquarium kits, and there was some pretty affordable stuff there, and I actually ended up picking some of the stuff off. This was right after I got my car fixed, and this is one of the 2 tanks that I recently picked up. So this is the Top Fin Enchant 3.5 gallon aquarium. It's pretty similar to the Top Fin Imagine. The only difference is it's more of a half moon shape rather than a bow tank, you know, which is basically a semi-square tank with a front that bows, kind of rounds off in the middle. And the filter is bigger on this model than on the 2.5 gallon, because it's, you know, 1 gallon more. So let's go ahead and open this up, and the box is already torn up. So let's put this down for a second. And let's start with the lid. So here's the lid, basic plastic lid. However, there's something that is not so basic about it on this, and that is the LED lights. Unlike on the Imagine and some of the other tanks that they have, this actually has, I think, an RGB lighting, LED lighting system. So red, green, blue, and then standard white are the color choices, I believe. So let's put that one down here. Next thing will pop out is the filter. So this is the Top Fin model F3.5 filter. It's 120 volts, 60 hertz at 3.5 watts, and it does about 20 gallons per hour. So it is a 3.5 gallon tank. That should be, you know, just fine for the filtration. Here's the little filtration grid, which this does come off, and you can pop it back on. I'm assuming you can probably add a piece yourself to make it maybe a little longer, maybe not, but who knows. Either way, I usually cover those up with pre-filter sponges. However, for the intentions that I have for this tank, I'm probably not going to have to do that. Now, the filter here uses 2 of the small EFS Top Fin element filters, and then right there you can see the grooves for where those filters go. They go in sideways. Here, I'll just put in one right now and show you guys. They go in at a bit of at a side angle. I don't know how long I'm going to be using these kind of filters for. I've imagined that this should be not too difficult to mod, because I do have more space in there to, you know, add more sponges, filter media, and things like that. But okay, that's a different video. So on the side here, there's a minimum water level line, so you know where your minimum water level is supposed to be. Piece of cardboard it comes in. Then this should obviously be the switch for the lights. Yep, there's 2 switches for the lights, guys. The lights are a 12 volt light system, so you have an inline switch to turn it on and off here, and then the other switch is on the lid right here. It's just a button, and I believe that rotates between, again, white, red, green, blue, and I believe there's a 5th option of where it's rotating through the colors. Not 100% sure, but I believe there is that option. Now, the tank. I do have to admit, this time around when I went shopping for the tanks, I did have to actually look at the tanks myself. This is the second Enchant that I picked up because the first one that I grabbed had a lot of scratches on it, a lot of surface scratches. And I get it, acrylic is going to have scratches. It is. It's just, I don't mind the little scratches. I mind scratches that kill off the presentation. So when I went and grabbed this one, they only had about 3 left, and this was the best out of the 3, and I went ahead and grabbed it anyways. There is a little bit of scratching on the side right here, more like a rubbing, but I'm not bothered by that. So, and the price, honestly, it was a steal. So again, I bought these during the latest sale at Petsmart. The tanks, this one was on sale for $14.99. Regular retail price, I believe, is $29.99, and sometimes you can find them on sale for maybe $21 to $22.99. However, I saw it on sale for $14.99, and I say, you know what, I gotta have it. Even if I'm not gonna use it, which I haven't used it until, well, I have plans for it, but I decided, well, you know what, I should have it. It's pretty cheap. Aside from the infamous Petco $ per gallon sale that has just recently started for me in my area, this was a good deal. So other things in the box will be obviously stuff like the manual for the tank itself, the manual for the filter, which is just a top fin element filter, which uses the small size filters. Guys, remember, top fin element filter, size small, or the code should be EF-S. I'll just put all my plastic back in here. So, everything pretty much that was on display here on the box is in there. So nothing was missing. Again, I did check the box out myself beforehand. So what am I going to do with this tank? Well, unfortunately, I haven't been able to keep people updated. I've had some issues with my aquariums. Main issue lately has been the 29-gallon aquarium. I had a really bad ammonia spike. I had to do a 100% water change, restart the cycle. It's been a real pain. And in my 5.5-gallon tank, where we used to keep the old beta and the frogs and some snails, I noticed a few days ago that one of the frogs, the smallest one, had a really bad injury in the chest, and its head was all bleeding, and I had to isolate it, and unfortunately it passed away. So now I have only one African dwarf frog with 2 horned nerites in the tank. It's really a lot of tank just for that few creatures. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys have seen some of my posts on Twitter before my last suspension, I have platy fry. My platies that one of the platies, a red rock platy that I first bought to cycle the 29-gallon, was apparently pregnant, and she live birthed to 13 babies. At least that was what I was able to catch before. You know, there's always a chance with the platies that they will eat, you know, some of their kids. So you do have to keep them separated, and I only had a mesh breeder with a bunch of hornwort in it, but I was able to get 13. I've already lost 1 in the last 2 weeks, so we've down to 12. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to give those little fry the 5.5-gallon tank so that they can grow out in there a little bit more. I just need them to grow out big enough so they can no longer fit in their parents, you know, or the other fish's mouths. And once that's happened, I can put them in the community tank. Now, unfortunately, not all of them are going to make it. Some of them do have scoliosis, but that's another story. So this is going to be the African dwarf frogs and probably both those horned nerite snails' new home. If you guys have read anything on the frogs, and if you guys have any other research or anything, please put links in the comment section below. But according to everybody, about a gallon to a gallon and a half is the ideal amount that you want for an African dwarf frog. I'm filming! Anyways, so this is 3.5 gallons, so this is more than enough for one African dwarf frog. I would like to get another one eventually, but right now, kind of with the loss of that last frog, I kind of want to do a little more homework, educate myself a little better. I do feel kind of bad. I mean, I just woke up and it was like, I just woke up in the morning and I saw it. His whole face was injured, and then that injury in the chest. I really just don't know what happened. I know I did have a volcanic rock in there with a cave in it. A small cave. It was never intended for the frogs. It was actually intended for ghost strip that we had in the tank. I do know that the littlest frog used to like to come in and out of that cave, so I was concerned that maybe he just scratched himself, or scratched his face, you know, going in and out of it, but it still wouldn't explain that almost whole-like thing he had in his chest. It was really bad. But, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do to make sure that the other one survives. The one thing I do have to consider, the tank is 12.3 inches high, which is too high for African dwarf frogs. However, the way I'm going to settle that is I'm going to put a minimum of 2 inches, or 2 to 2.5 inches worth of substrate at the bottom. I'm going to probably end up doing some of the Seacam planted substrate at the bottom. I'm going to do some regular aquarium gravel on top of that. I don't have too much of the stuff, and if you guys have seen that Seacam substrate that's meant for planted tanks, it is really fucking expensive, guys. It's something like 20 bucks for a 15-pound bag, and I don't have the money to keep buying that sort of stuff for planted tanks. So I've seen what a lot of guys do is they'll put a little bit of it on. They'll put about maybe like an inch worth, maybe 1.5 inches, and then they'll put another inch, 1.5 inches worth of regular gravel. That way they have enough substrate for the planks to hang up on, and they're not wasting all of it. I also have flourish tabs from Seacam, so half of one should be just fine for one of these, even maybe a third of one, and that should fertilize any plants or stuff that I'm going to put in here for, you know, at least 3 to 4 months. Now, it's not going to be a heavily planted tank. I don't have the intention to do that. If any, I'm probably just going to throw an Anubias in there, maybe some Anacris and an Anubias. But the overall goal is to just have a separate tank now for the frog, so she can do fine, and use that other tank now for the redwag platyfry that I have. So, and just to give you guys a bit of a perspective as how this is all going to look coming together, the filter has a lip, well, 2 lips. One here on the side, one here on the side, one here in the back. There are these lifted areas here in the lip of the aquarium here that they can just sit there in place and just hang off of there, and then you plug them in. Then you obviously just put your top on. Now, by the way, another cool feature about these tanks, or the lids, check out those slits in the back. So with those slits in the back, you have one for the cord over here, one for the lighting cord back here. Oops. There you go. And that's pretty much it. You know, obviously you got to put substrate, plants, animals, water, but that's going to be the basics of it. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. So I want to just thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for some of the longtime followers for being patient with me in regards to not having new videos or anything like that. I'm going to do an unboxing of the Imagine 5-gallon tank that I picked up. Most likely that tank is going to become a quarantine tank. so that I have somewhere to put fish, plants, snails, invertebrates, things like that. When I bring them in from the shop, I don't throw them in directly to any of my, to my main community tank or anything like that. Make sure they're not sick, they don't have worms or anything like that. And after they've been in there, they can then join the community tank. Um, so, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe. Also, just to let you guys know, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put my finger there in front of the camera lens there, is I am going to be doing more videos next month. The reason my videos have been kind of lagging is that I'm not doing them off my phone so much, because the service that I have limited bandwidth, limited gigs. So once I do my switch to T-Mobile completely, I should have unlimited service, unlimited data, all that, and then I should be able to actually do more streams. Or no, sorry, not streams. Should be able to do more videos on the spot, on location where I'm at. All right, well, guys, thanks for watching. And you have a great day.